Amy, there's something wrong with my eyes.
Are you okay?
Yes, but I just looked at the cover of People magazine and the photos on it are too hot. Uh, that's right. Mauricio just got caught giving really sexy photos to the cover of People magazine. He's wearing a fur coat in one of them and he's kicking his leg really high in another one. My eyes are kind of, like I said, burning hot. And I'll just say it. This is the new Mauricio on the cover of People magazine. Amy, what was your first reaction when you went to the newsstands and saw these photos?
Yeah, I had to. I crashed my car actually. It
When you
was
saw him out?
shocking. Yeah,
Are you saying that you were driving up to Ramen's or wherever you go
yeah.
where the
The
newsstand is?
newsstand, one of the like newsstands that still exists. I crashed. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, there's one where there's women, unseen, unfaced women
Hmm.
ripping his hoodie off.
Yeah.
Um, there's one where there's a woman. She's putting her sexy boots on his face. Like, who are these chicks?
I think it's just very provocative, and like he's sort of playing into this whatever this new era of his life is. Did you see the one where he's got this open fur coat with his chest sort of out and he's holding, I think, what's the remnants of whiskey? Do you have that one
Wow.
up on your phone?
He's a real. I'm now watching a video like BTS. He's lighting a cigar.
Oh, these are
Um,
good. These are awesome.
oh wait, this is something else. This is a he's doing some collaboration with a brand. He's like, it's like, aren't you busy enough with the what's it called? The agency?
Yeah, of course, but this only probably took them 2 hours. I mean, show up, they've got the models there. Oh my God, I'm looking at the one that you're talking about. So this is sort of visual for a Turtle Time listeners, but go to People Magazine. There's one where Mauricio has a hoodie or some sort of outfit on, and it's being pulled in two directions by, I presume, two women. And I don't know. I mean, it's kind
Kyle's
of
not gonna like this.
Guess what though? I was gonna say that. I go, Kyle is gonna be. She's gonna say, "What the hell is this evoking?" But instead, Mauricio says in his interview, he goes, "I told everyone. I sent some of my photos, and Kyle said hot, 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 and gave the burning eyes emoji. Just like we were saying, she thinks they're
Get back
hot.
together.
I know they're so sweet. I mean, do you think? Would you be able to get back with your significant other if they made love to like 100 people while you were on a
Mm.
break?
Yeah, that is gross.
Well,
Um,
Do you? I'm just saying. Well, I don't know if he has, but I was just saying. Like, would it be like, well, we both made love to different people. You made love to 100. I made love to 10 or 7. Like, let's just bury the hatchet and you know just start back over.
I don't know. Maybe I think there would have to be some catastrophic life event, like something to force them back together. I feel like the daughter's wedding probably got them half of the way, but I don't know. I feel like it's been too long now, actually.
Really, for them to ever get back.
Yeah.
Oh boy, if it would be shit, it would be a romantic tale for the ages though if they were able to find their way back after 5 years. There's so
Yeah.
much love there. There's so many children to sort of have all those moments with. We've talked about those movies like It's Complicated where this stuff happens all the time. So I have hope that they could come back, but it's only if Mauricio was not cheating during the relationship.
Yeah.
And then this era is actually indicative of how he was during the entire time. Sex starved, hot and horny. If that wasn't cheating and infidelity and he just is having a kind of a sex time now, then I would be like, oh, you guys can come back together. But
Right.
if this was sort of, if the cheating was the thing that led to it, this isn't good what he's doing in this era for Kyle, probably.
Remember when uh, Lisa came over to Kyle's house and she was like, Mauricio's out to lunch with uh, what's their youngest daughter's name? Portia.
Yes.
And Lisa's like, that's why people have been saying he's out with a younger woman. And Kyle was like, how dare you?
Oh my God, no, I don't remember that zinger from Lisa. Oh, that's very funny. Oh, Kyle didn't like it?
Creative. She
Kyle
was
didn't.
pissed. She
Oh,
was like,
really?
don't even say that.
Oh my God. Did you hear that Kyle got one over on Ken at BravoCon? She goes, "Goodbye, Ken."
That was good.
Yeah, and she said he ran away bashful, kind of like completely with his tail between his legs.
Kyle is good in that environment. She was great on all the panels. She's just very seasoned and
Oh yeah.
professional. She's not afraid to do a tease. I I watched one at one point in that like back casual area where she had one with Kathy, and she was very funny. She was telling a story about how in their childhoods that their mom, Big Kath, kept a real tight ship, and they weren't allowed to walk on the carpet and weren't allowed to touch anything. But Kathy would steal all of her mom's nice stuff from around the house and would hold like an estate sale within her room. And Kyle and Kim had per diem from their shows that they were working on. And Kathy would be like, step right up. I have a vase. I have a figurine. What do you guys need? And they would be like, will you take 5? And she'd be like, I need 10. And then they would take the stuff that was from their own house. And then their mom would get pissed and take it anyways. But they had just paid their sister for it, even though it was from the living room.
That is so cool. Remember when you said Kyle would have the most explosive memoir of all time? Those kind of stories would be just fun additional chapters in the saga of her life that we'd be like, oh my God, Kathy used to do that kind of shit. That's a very fun anecdote from Kyle. And I agree with you completely. She's so at ease in that sort of environment after doing this for 18 years or however long it's been. That's amazing. A lot of people were kind of using Kyle as fodder, I saw at BravoCon. Like Stacey was like, Kyle didn't greet me, well enough and stuff, but I kind of I know Kyle is nice. Like you couldn't ever convince me that Kyle is like hi-hatting people behind the scenes. Like, I don't know you at all. You discussed me at what level you are in Housewives versus how I've been. I think it's just kind of like if you have to have an answer, you say something like, oh, I didn't get enough time with Kyle or something like that.
Yeah. I think Jesse Solomon got a fuck, marry, kill of Dorit, Kyle, and Erica on the Watch What Happens from, I think it was on Wednesday night. And he decided to F Erica, which I think most people assume he already did, and then marry Dorit, and he said kill Kyle because he doesn't know her.
Really? Pretty interesting. And he got a good, when you get a freebie like that, you just say, hey, I kill you because I don't know you. You know what I mean? Like that was an easy one for him. I'd make love to the person I already maybe made love to. Yeah. Marry Dorit. She should have married Kyle though, if he knew her.
Yeah. I think Sierra married West on hers.
Really?
Yeah. And killed Austin.
Killed Austin. Oh my God. Wow. Oh, that shows you the standing currently of current day that West has made, inroads with Sierra. Oh my God. Wow. A lot of provocative stuff.
I hooted when she said that. I was like, I'm such a loser. I was like, woohoo, Mary West. We're so back.
That is so fun. Wow, I know. I love that. I didn't get to watch that panel yet. I feel bad, but
you should watch it. I was like, I watched it right before this. It's 20 minutes. It's all the under 42s. It's like Southern Hospitality, Southern Charm, The Valley, Summer House, Southern Charm, if I already said that. And they're all on stage together, and it's fun.
All right, I'm going to watch it. I love all these revelations that keep bubbling out of BravoCon. Speaking of revelations that keep bubbling up, Amy, can I say what bubbled up in a big pink bubble last night at our...
Galinda?
You and I got exclusive access along with 50 to 100 other people to go to the Regal LA Live, which is half in shambles, half a construction zone. And we got to go to this wonderful YouTube creator event to go see Wicked for Good 2 days in advance.
Wow.
Just last night as we record.
Mere hours in advance.
Mere hours. This thing was amazing. I mean, YouTube goes all out for its channel creators.
I got like 4 bags of candy.
Me too. They said 1 per bag. They said 1 M&M out of a bag. And I said, can I have the whole thing, please? There's so many. And they go, fine, just for you. But they did ask me how many subscribers I had. And I said, well, I don't want to get into that, but do you mind if I have a full bag of M&Ms? But water, Pepsi.
I know. The second I saw the invite said Regal, I was like, Pepsi, goddamn.
Yeah. But, apart from that, they did, they were showing like a bunch of YouTube ads and stuff beforehand. But once I had a couple of M&Ms in me, I was able to get as many as I could get from that one guy that was giving them out. You and I sat down and we just sort of...
in the second row because the rest of the theater was full. So we were at breakneck view of
it was
Ariana's clavicle.
Yeah, it was funny to watch when Galinda would be like, I'm in a bubble over here, and then I'm gonna go over here, and you and I both, I'd look at you, and we'd both have to turn our full heads to see where Galinda's pink bubble would go. So not I okay. So thank you so much to YouTube. You guys are amazing, and you treat your creators really well. But the experience was fine and fun. We got some iconic photos on the runway there.
I accidentally wore red shoes. Completely didn't think about it. I walked up and Riley was like, "Ruby red slippers. It's giving ruby red." And I was like, "No."
Yeah, and I never make comments like that. I never comment on people's appearance ever in my life. But the fact that I was just thinking, that we're here to see Wicked, and I saw you in red shoes. I made that comment, and it just happened to be that something you weren't thinking about.
I don't know how I didn't think of that, because in Vegas, we saw people everywhere wearing their red slippers because so many people were going to the Sphere to see Wizard of Oz. Yeah. And everywhere we went, I kept seeing people in red shoes. And I was like, oh, that's cute. And then I randomly was like, I'll wear my red shoes.
Is it quite possible that it was subconscious?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm blocking out my my innocent side.
What do you mean?
My pure innocent child that wanted to wear ruby red slippers. I was like, I don't even think of that.
Oh, I see.
That's
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, it was sweet. It was awesome. And we have a photo of us using Galinda's wand to charm your shoes to make them look like they should be ruby red so that she can go home.
They had like a bucket of props and they were like, you can use your own phone if you want.
Yeah, it was so interesting, the kind of stuff that they had set up. It was like we had to ask the creator in front of us if they would take a photo of us. And then we get into the theater, and I gotta tell you,
creator.
Yeah, we were total creators in there, and they were, and I felt like I was sort of with my community. Did you?
I talked to the person next to me, and they asked me a lot of questions.
Yeah,
and they were like, "Are you a creator?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "How about you?" And they were like, "Yeah." And then they asked me more questions, but then I didn't ask them more questions, so I don't know what her job was or what kind of creator she was.
She was a good creator. You wanted to we were talking to each other, and then you had to have a detour with a creator. One guy was live streaming his YouTube
Everyone
entire
was.
movie.
Everyone was making content. I guess that was the point.
Yeah. I can't wait. We got to show that photo when we get this photo that comes out of the worst photo of all time, where everybody in a movie theater has to pile on to like get together for a photo. We got to share that thing. But let me tell you really quickly, because I want to hear what you thought. We haven't really discussed this film, but while we were sort of craning our necks, looking around at the screen, I kind of let Wicked for Good wash over me. And I realized that I was wrong when we talked, as always, 2 days ago or 3 days ago. I was wrong about what Wicked was, because I didn't know. I thought this was a fan fiction prequel to Wizard of Oz that was going to sort of explain what went into Wizard of Oz, but Wizard of Oz still exists. And this is like the precursor to that story. And then when we were watching it, the spoilers right now, Wizard of Oz takes place within this film, and it keeps going, and it's an alternate history where Wizard of Oz is sort of secondary to the story that we're learning, and it doesn't really matter your association with Wizard of Oz at all. It wasn't built really on Wizard of Oz. It's built on the public domain aspects of Frank Baum's work, which I didn't know that. Did you know that? You must have known that.
Well, I didn't know that they were going to like shade Dorothy. I didn't know to what degree Dorothy would be involved. They do not show her face. They didn't dare.
No, they don't. No, it's not her story. It's like that is a little side quest that you get little blips of, but they just kind of want to tell the story of the Wicked Witch, and there's no correlation, because there's even scenes where Galinda, you stop me whenever you say, Riley, shut the hell up. But Galinda, when the house falls for no reason, because the Mrs. Marble says, I'm going to make a big tornado happen, and the Wicked Witch of the East is going to die for no reason. We have no clue what's going on. The Wicked Witch is there when Dorothy gets the red shoes and she confronts her for the first time. That does not happen because you can't justify how wicked the witch is in the scenes of Wizard of Oz. So this is a full, don't even think about Wizard of Oz. It's a full retelling of it. And that really helped me. I was like, oh, this guy just wrote a bunch of, it's like I watched Star Wars once, and there was no other shit around Star Wars. And I decided to make my own version. The public domain had lapsed, and I made a fun, silly version of my own story. And that just ended up getting to the heights of pop culture like Wicked did. It's a full public domain fan fiction work that has now been
Public
elevated.
domain-a-palooza.
It's a total public domain of Palooza. And Wizard of Oz, MGM still owns the copyright. This is not really associated with it. The reason why, in addition to the Silver Slippers being Frank Baum's invention, is also because they can't use direct correlations to Wizard of Oz in their work because they're only tying it into Frank Baum's public domain stuff. So that really made me reevaluate it. Having said that, though, the writing and everything about it and the mythology is still pure shit and so dumb. And it was almost funny to watch how they're going to justify all of these dumb twists and turns. Like, we were laughing.
Yeah. Like, for some reason, spoiler, the girl of Elphaba's sister, who's now the governor.
Yeah, they're governors.
For some reason, how much time has passed? Wasn't she in school like last year?
That kind of stuff doesn't, like, there is no rhyme or reason. That's what I'm talking about.
She just got out of Shiz U. She was a first year.
This world doesn't make any sense. And it's almost, it's totally foolish to try to wonder where Munchkin Land lies, how many lands there even are. Is Oz the president of all of it? All that shit. It's so, they don't give a shit about any of the realistic aspects of this story.
She like fumbles the bag trying to make Bach fall in love with her. And she like messes up a spell having to do with his heart. So then to, I guess, have him not die, or like have heart failure, Elphaba's like, he's made of tin. He doesn't need a heart. And I'm like, what kind of fuck ass workaround is that? Like, huh?
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. And the writer of this did a horrible job. Both Tin Man and Scarecrow are the result of the exact same thing, which is a bad spell that one of the wicked
she
witches
just sucks at this. She's like, they're gonna. It was kind of like they because it's what's his name, the Fiorino or whatever.
I don't know that guy's Pharaoh the Scarecrow.
He's like about to be crucified.
I think so.
Essentially,
Pulled
it was very
apart.
Christ-like.
Yeah.
And they're like, she's like, he's made of straw now. He can't be killed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, again, can't you? Isn't there like an immunity spell or something? Like, can't you make him like impenetrable, like physically? Like, why do your spells suck so bad?
That's because that was what I was trying to say last time we talked about Wicked. It's very stupid. Silly to try to justify why a Scarecrow man and a Tin Man exist. In my Wizard of Oz watch, I would have thought there were other mystical creatures walking around, of a woodsman, Tin Man land, scarecrows, other supernatural elements, but instead it's like, oh, the two characters the only two characters or three characters from Wizard of Oz are just Elphaba is directly responsible for them. So
frankly, what is a Tin Man?
I don't know. No one knows. No one knows. But I was like, okay, this is obviously so dumb. And I was like, oh my God, the Munchkin guy that everyone kind of predicted this. The Munchkin guy became a Tin Man. Pharaoh, this is a huge spoiler. Pharaoh becomes the Scarecrow.
Pharaoh?
Well, I think it is Pharaoh, isn't it?
Hold on.
I think because I was like, oh, it rhymes with Scarecrow. And so it was supposed to be.
It's,
Pharaoh. Fiyero the Scarecrow. I think it was supposed to allude to him being the Scarecrow. But what I liked when I started to like Wicked for Good, was when the Tin Man was like, we just got done with the witch, and she sucks so bad. Look what she did to the Cowardly Lion. And the Cowardly Lion goes, I don't want to talk. I'm so cowardly. And I was like, whoa, making the Tin Man evil in this story is a good subversion. Like, the Tin Man is a revenge-filled maniac. The Cowardly Lion stays
like,
cowardly.
Bitch.
Yeah, he goes, I was spurned and scorned by that wicked witch. And then I like huge spoilers. Oh my God, don't keep listening. The Scarecrow evolution or whatever was interesting, that he privately always knew Elphaba was good, and he let Dorothy think that she had done this water thing. It was like, once I got out of this the perception I had, it really made me enjoy it more. But then again, I have to say, sloppy writing, some of the worst writing I've ever seen. It looks like shit.
Yeah.
No offense, looks like shit. And the songs are not very good, except "Wicked for Good," and I like the wonderful song with
Right.
the Wizard of
Yeah,
Oz.
it's a little bit of a problem that they used all the good songs up front in the
Yeah,
first one, and all of the plot is in the first one. It's completely loaded, top loaded, and I would
yeah,
say this feels like what is left.
yeah.
I have to say, I'm glad we're talking about it now because I think by tomorrow I won't remember it at all.
Oh, right.
Um,
Yeah, I
it
barely remember.
looks
Yeah,
like pure ass. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
No, it does.
I'll say it again. I cannot believe that hardworking craftspeople built all of that stuff physically over the course of many, many months and hours.
Yeah,
And it looks so fucking fake on camera.
yeah. It looks bad, and I mean, I was like having a hard time processing because I couldn't even watch Elphaba and Galinda in the same scene. But it just looks like kind of gray, washed out shit, even though it should be one of the most vibrant, colorful movies in the world. I give a lot of credit for Ariana Grande for sort of going for it. She doesn't really ever say like this material is, like she's really acting her ass off.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of, I'm never gonna probably watch it again, but I recommended it to Megan. I was like, you gotta see it. I mean, you just for the revelations of how they try to explain the Wizard of Oz stuff was like
Yeah.
sort of interesting to me.
Yeah. I will say because of our proximity to the screen, I can report that the costumes are beautiful. I could see the beadwork
Whoa.
on her gowns in extreme detail, and it was exquisite.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I like those costumes too. And then they let Mr. Wizard, the Wizard of Oz, Jeff Goldblum. He gets some flourishes where he's like a Willy Wonka-esque sort of guy, but the writing in his overall arc is still very bad. So
What have I done?
yeah,
I leaned over to Riley at one point. I go, "Do you know?" I confirmed after the fact. He's 73 years old.
I'm glad you confirmed
He's a dapper Dan.
He looks amazing. Oh my god! He's 73 years old. He looks he's tap dancing like
I
the
know.
Wizard.
I'm like, that's like my mom's age, and she can't do shit. Sorry,
my-
Mom.
Oh my god!
You're no Jeff Goldblum. He's I feel like he could do like a cartwheel.
Yeah, he was almost about to. It was almost like they had to tell him to stop for a second. I liked when Galinda and Elphaba, they fight. People are probably like, if they're skipping for spoilers,
that felt like really. It was like reaching this apex of like a feud, and then all of a sudden they did this goofy ass, cartoonish. Mock fight.
I felt like that was like a Broadway leftover, like that's a pivotal scene maybe in Broadway because it felt like something that would happen like on stage that would make everybody laugh. Not a lot of laugh moments. I did like the sort of extended sex scene between Elphaba and Fario. I thought that was pretty.
Oh my God, they were in like the Planet of the Apes like tree house.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really erotic, and I was surprised because a lot of the YouTube creators like stopped streaming all of a sudden. But
she says, "This is the first time I feel wicked."
Yeah, that was cool. We were sort of I was cheering at that point.
Yeah. I am concerned about if his dick is made of straw now, what she can do with that.
Yeah, I was worried too because a huge spoiler alert. He knows that she didn't have any immunity towards water, so she's still just hiding under a sort of a slab of concrete.
Did you see that coming?
No, I had no idea. I was like, we're really off the Wizard of Oz template now. I was like, oh my God, that's what made me enjoy it.
Like, I had to assume that was the case just because we know that she's like human. So like, why would water kill her?
Right. I was like, I didn't really get it. I didn't, because I was like, the some of the writing was already so bad. So I was like, was she actually allergic to water at some point? I didn't really know. I thought it would have been like, at the end of the story would have been like, keep the myth alive. Elphaba wanted there to be a villain. So we need a villain in Oz to like keep the community together. So it was going to be about like a combined myth that they all associated with to keep that. But then it's kind of a cop out to have her live and just be like, oh, she gets a great ending with her scarecrow boyfriend. But I'm not here to talk about how bad the story is of Wicked for Good because it's horrible. It's a horrible story.
Right. I did like that the opening scene is the yellow brick road being built with slave animal labor.
Totally.
I'm like, wow, that's a dark past.
Yeah, and then and they never the only thing they do to justify that Elphaba is ever like wicked in the Wizard of Oz story is by her saying, I can't win.
No good deed
Yes.
unpunished.
So then they have the one scene where she yells at Dorothy to take her sister's shoes off, and you're like, oh, so that's how Dorothy got the impression that Elphaba was mean. Because for 1 second, Elphaba was mean, but she wasn't even that mean when she was yelling at Dorothy. She was like, please take your shoes off.
She's like, my sister's dead, bitch.
Yeah. Why did Miss Marble did Miss Marble create that big tornado that took Dorothy's house from Kansas to land on the Wicked Witch of the East Sister so there'd be more to blame on Elphaba?
She knew it would compel Elphaba to the scene. Because at first they were like, we'll start a rumor that her sister's in danger. And they go, a rumor won't suffice. We'll have to do something for reals.
Oh, that's interesting. I think I went to the bathroom for a second. Oh, that's that. I missed that scene. Oh, that's great. Okay, at least there was justification. I was like, what the hell is Miss Marble doing?
Miss Marble.
She's
lost her marbles.
It is Miss Marble, isn't it?
Like Mirabelle?
Oh my God, I must not have been listening. I thought it was Pharaoh, and then I thought it was Marble. But I don't know these characters.
Hold on. Michelle Yeoh, actress of the century, Wicked.
Miss Marple?
Morrible, like horrible, but morrible.
Miss Morrible? Oh my God. What the hell is the grimacy? Like there's just one spell book.
Grimmery.
There's just one spell book.
And then they keep being like, I'm stupendified.
Yeah, that's how Galinda talks. But then at the end, spoiler alerts, if you're still trying to go through, spoiler alert right now, but Galinda gets access to the Grimmery and she can do whatever the hell she wants. I think she takes over Oz at the end.
She finally she sacks up to stand for something, and that's what it takes to do magic.
Absolutely.
It turns out.
Yeah, absolutely. Not wonderful, but I'm going to be watching it.
Wonderful.
You know he's wonderful. I liked that song. I thought that was fun.
Immediately demonetized on YouTube.
Oh, shit. We can't even sing for
that was too
3
perfect.
seconds.
It's going to pick it up.
That was pretty good. All right, so what do you give it? I know you don't like to rank. I'll rank it. I'll give it 6.5 out of 10, which is
Mirables?
Yeah, 6.5 out of 10 Mirables. Out of a whole full bowl of Mirables. And you don't have to rank it, but we kind of talked about how
you said 6.5?
Yeah, out of 10. But like a 2, I'm not giving it a 3 on Letterboxd. That's a 2.5. Just like the first part for me.
No, it was Floptina. The first one, it makes the first one look way better. Like, it made me want to, if I revisited the first one, I'd be like, at least it had some like numbers that you could get behind, like this one, it was just like Bleak Street.
Besides Defying Gravity, what's the number 2 best song in Wicked 1?
Dancing Through Life, where everyone, that dance went viral of everyone doing it. You know?
I'm gonna listen to that one because I like Defying Gravity.
And then there's Popular.
Okay. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm gonna go back to. I'm definitely gonna watch Wicked 1. I can't wait. All right.
I want to go back to Shiz You. This movie had no Shiz You.
Yeah. I was kind of confused. We don't have to talk about this longer, but what is a shiz? What does shiz mean?
Stupid ass.
Yeah, I was like, what? But then what's her name? Ariana Grande says shiz as a curse word, and I was like, well, you can't call it. You know what I mean? Because she doesn't want to say shit, and I was like, that's the name of your university. That's not a curse word.
Yeah. There's a lot of questions. I also wanted to tell you that when I got home, Jimmy had crude and rudely started Ken Burns' Revolution without me. But I watched it starting like 20 minutes in. The parts are long. They're like, I think 2 hours or something.
Oh, yeah.
And I just want to give you a little sneak peek that if you hear John Adams, you might hear a familiar voice.
Oh yeah, I noticed that too. Because believe me, I started firing. I'm halfway through part 1. Whenever I get a chance to pop in, and
the voices are ripping.
Oh yeah, I'll give a little spoiler. There's somebody that just can't give up John Adams, and he's continuing his performance as John Adams for a little while. Is that too much of a spoiler?
No, and there's also Laura Linney's in there, but she's not Abigail Adams. She's someone else. There's also Meryl Streep. There's we were trying to name them as we went, and we got a lot of them. But there's some that you wouldn't even predict that you could see in the credits.
Oh my God. All right. Holy shit. Well, that's a great, I'm going through, I think 4 parts are out now. So everybody watch the American Revolutions. We got to support Ken Burns. I can't wait to rip through it.
It's fun when it gets to parts that you actually know, and they'll be like, And there was a tax put on, and you're like, T, 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 T.
Yeah, I was going, they were like, and then there was one act that was particularly horrible. And I go, the Stamp Act!
You're like, Paul Revere in the hizzy.
Yeah, I was getting so excited. I was screaming. I was doing that thing that, where, I was doing a bunch of stuff where I was calling out the answer beforehand. All right. Okay. Did we talk about enough news? Mauricio, Wicked. That's it, right? We have to talk about
we've
Southern.
got two big things to talk about.
Yeah.
We're mostly just Southern Charm, but.
Do you want to do Southern Charm first and then give our half-hearted, it won't be half-hearted, but I'm just saying give a little less steam to OC. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, let's do it.
I got to be honest about Southern Charm. I got to say it right now. I was sort of disappointed in this premiere. I mean, nobody will care and it's not going to affect anything, but I didn't think this was a very good premiere at all. I was let down tremendously.
Papa Boo.
Papa Boo, and I'm glad that we kind of workshopped that beforehand. Yeah, this was a Baba Boo for me. I think my main grudge against it is that I don't really care at all about Vanita and Craig's relationship. I didn't consider them to be friends ever once. And the fact that Craig doesn't like what Vanita said and that Vanita doesn't like Craig and she likes Paige more because she never had a relationship with Craig doesn't mean that they need to resolve this conflict on screen just because they're cast members on the same show. They're just not friends and they don't like each other. So anything revolving around that, I was like, this is drama that I don't care about in any way, and it was about half of it.
Yeah, it did feel like this was just any other episode, kind of. Like it felt like it was like a mid-season episode, not really a coming back to the table. I will say I on that number one guys and girls of the group Watch What Happens that Andy asked about the feud between Summer House and Southern Charm, and Carl went, well, it looks like we won because look who's not here. And they were like, yeah, we have nothing to say because freaking Craig didn't come at all.
Yeah. I love winners and losers, and I love making the world into who lost and who won and being on sides and proclaiming love for one side over the other. But I'm getting a little tired of how one-sided this whole Paige and Craig relationship is being treated, like the internet won. It reminds me of the Drake and Kendrick shit, where I'm just like, there's obviously more nuance to that. Craig was very, very hurt and brokenhearted 10 times more than Paige was at the end of this relationship. So Paige writing things to Patricia, like Patricia, who's, she's like, I like Craig. Sorry, I've known him for 20 years. He's on my show. I think Paige was sometimes mean to him. She reiterated it. It's like, not crazy deal, a big deal. And then Paige is like, well, get me 4 marriages, please, pretty soon. Like, really sort of a kind of a mean comment that she had to delete about.
Miss Pat is a huge bitch to everyone.
She is?
We won't clip this. You're safe.
No, I don't.
She says crazy shit all the time.
All right. Okay. Okay. I'm not. Okay. Yes, all right. I'm not defending Patricia for all of the horrors that she's committed on the run of Southern Charm or for all of her life. I'm a little tired of teams, and I think that Patricia and Shep, I said this last week, I hope I teased it up, that Shep venting to a bunch of people that he's not thinking he's filmed about how much he loves Craig and how he thinks Paige did him wrong is not shocking to me. I would hope that my friends, if I was on a less popular show, would still ride for me if I had a broken heart. So Shep saying that I'm not like, boo, why can't you betray Craig and be Team Paige? And then Patricia saying the same thing. Just, it's not, I don't like the internet. I don't like the internet sort of making a winner and a loser out of this. And this episode really had even more of that I'm kind of tired of, especially because Vanita is now added to it.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not as interested about the people in Charleston hating Paige. I'm more interested in Craig having to answer for being so fucking high on his horse while he was with Paige, and that now he wants everyone's support even though he didn't give a shit about them the entire time he was dating her and was like, I don't need you guys. You guys are actually trash bags, and I'm a sober, living, amazing king with my queen, and you guys are problematic and I hate you. And now he's like, do you guys want to do shots? Like, can I hang out with you guys? Like, I'd be like, well, interesting.
Yeah, he's eating humble pie, but you would take
But
your
he's
friend.
not.
I mean, he did eat humble pie. He was eating humble pie. I feel like he's eating a little bit of humble pie.
I hope that they rub his nose in it, is all I'm saying, because I
Yeah,
was sick of that shit.
but you would take your friend back if this was a real life situation and your friend was like, I'm in a relationship and I'm at the top of the world. I'm much cooler than you. And but they still made like little gestures to you to show that the friendship still mattered. You'd take your friend back after a bad breakup, especially if they apologize for how they treated you during that era.
See, the show starts with them fighting at the end of the season about this very thing. So we'll see if they get through it.
Yeah, and and I was hard on Craig. I don't want this to be, and I've been hard on Miss Pat. I was ranking Southern Charm people one time, and I said Miss Pat was my least favorite person. Like I've been there, and I know, but I'm just saying that like I'm trying to push back on this like war because I think we don't take enough into consideration that Paige was with that Joe D'Amelio guy one day after Craig and her broke up. And if Craig was responding to that, being like, hey, the guy that when she broke up with me, she was seen 2 days later with a guy that she has still been seen with, or I don't know anything about the Joe D'Amelio thing, but I'm just saying, like, isn't there enough like plausible evidence for Craig to be like, oh, that was kind of quickly after our relationship that you found love. So can he be brokenhearted by that?
Sure, but he's still literally the episode, like the first thing he says about her is that he was betrayed by the person he trusted the most. And I'm like, it's not betrayal to not want to marry someone.
Yeah. Oh boy. All right. I wasn't anticipating. I'm not going to be obviously the voice of defense for Craig and Southern Charm cast. I'm just saying I think we need to allow more of a 20 to 30, 70-30 sort of look at this thing. I believe that I believe why everyone rallied around Paige. I totally understand. I think Paige is cooler than Craig and more fun. And like, I'm not trying to say. I'm just saying that like we're kind of losing grasp of what the real facts are. And Craig feeling betrayed by Paige. There were so many little things that led to why their breakup got ruined, and it was because Craig didn't immediately denounce the rumors about Joe D'Amelio, but at the time he like couldn't eat and he couldn't sleep and he had lost the love of his life, and he thought possibly that Joe D'Amelio stuff had intersected. So I just whatever. This is not a popular take, obviously. I just
have to, if I had raked Lindsay Hubbard over the holes for the Blind Side storyline, I must hold true to, like, Craig wasn't, he can claim to be blindsided, but obviously we saw an entire season's worth of conversations where they were not vibing on the right, level about where they wanted to live, like what the path they were on, what timeline they were on. Like there were problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just can't escape the reality that, Craig is the one who was kicked to the curb here, and he's the one who's with the broken heart, and it seems that Paige was easy to, it was, and I'm trying
she
to
always had the upper hand, like across the board.
Yeah, and I'm trying to take this out of the realm of reality television and just think about how I would feel if these were two people, that I knew and what the circumstances were. So anyway, let's get into this, and I want to just start by first the sort of propulsive start of this episode is one of those things that Bravo does where it's like 2 months in the future.
Yeah.
And this dinner, it's like, it's out of nowhere. And they start with, Shep goes, we've had our ups and downs, more ups, I would say, but let's down these drinks. And then it sort of just gets into immediately a fight with Craig and Austin because Austin goes, we should also toast to keeping our enemies close, or our friends close, but our enemies closer. And then they're like, oh my God, who is your enemy here? And then it spirals into that fight about Craig's alcoholism, like if he had used that to sort of get Austin on his side. But I didn't really think that this whole fight, we can talk about it more, but I didn't really think that this fight made me like, oh my God, I can't wait for this season. Like of all those 2-month earth-shattering events for Bravo seasons to start with, this one, I was like, you could have saved this. Like,
this happens every other episode. I think there's a preview for like literally next week where they have a fight like this.
Yeah, I was like, I would have been fine if this scene came out of nowhere. They sat down in a big barrel or whatever they were, and they kind of had this fight. I was like, I it it did the opposite, where I was like, this doesn't bode well for the season. If this is the thing you need to pick out to show us how heated it's going to get. I mean, really,
Yeah.
I'm being very critical, but I'm just telling you how my mindset was as I watched this episode.
Yeah. If anything, pretty much the entire episode was about Madison having a baby.
Yeah,
It was like baby shower, baby shopping, baby.
total baby. Yeah, it was baby. It's centered on baby shower. I did like Craig's response, not to tout Craig anymore, but geez, I really am. He was like, Austin goes, "You used me in your story of alcoholism, like even though you're drinking now, which I totally understand." Like Craig, you said this, or we said at the time, Craig was drunk, actively drunk when he was talking about his drinking problem, to Austin, and it sounds like he's whatever. I don't want to get into his,
like, which is it?
But yeah, which is it? I understand why Austin is doing, but I also believe that Austin is playing up on his dial of how things are affecting him. He goes 10 out of 10 with Craig because he knows that there's a lot of fodder to be to get out of Craig and his relationship. So when Craig says, "You're a completely different person when we film, you're not at all the same, I'm like myself off and on camera," I kind of understood where Craig was coming from, because I do believe that Austin, when they're not filming, he's like Craig's friend and he likes him and they're sweet and they have fun. And then all of a sudden when Craig gets to start filming, Austin's yelling at him,
Yeah.
Do you agree with me, or is that?
I mean, yeah, when I sat down to watch, it started with the clip of them in the booth fighting or whatever. And I was like, I do love that anywhere you drop a camera on Earth at any given time that the boys are fighting. It just
Yeah.
seems like at any given time that is what is going on between them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really explain why I have such a soft spot for Austin because I know he was awful. Like if I rewatched Winter House or Summer House or whatever when he was acting badly or stuff with, I can't really remember a time. I'm sure there were times where I thought he was a scumbag. I know that I did, but I can't conjure them right now.
No, yeah, I know what you mean. Like,
He's
I
just
have
like a goofball to me now, and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, no, I have a hard time too remembering like what the worst moments for Austin were. I mean, I guess how he treated Sierra, because
No,
Sierra
yeah,
said,
for sure.
but yeah, no, I know what you mean. I mean, I have a soft spot for most Bravo celebrities, so I know what you mean. Like, I in this fight between Austin and Craig, I'm on both of their sides. I just think Austin does have a predilection for boosting his feelings towards Craig, because he knows it's good for storylines to have the three
Yeah.
boys sort of in chaos.
I just always have more ire for Craig because I thought it was so unearned, the Glory Boy edit he got by way of Paige. And I was like, hello. I was
Yeah.
like, why is this happening? Like, he's been such a shithead for so long. Like, I just thought it was real. That's why I think his fall from grace, he's having to deal with this, is because he got boosted up unnaturally. And so now that he doesn't have Paige anymore, everyone's coming after him. And I'm like, yeah, he should have just stayed in the basement and like dealt with the people being like, you shouldn't be with that guy, or instead of them being the golden couple, and now he's off of the pedestal and having to deal with it. I'm like, he had to fall because it didn't make sense the way everyone was like, he's perfect.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought he was more perfect. No, not even perfect. I liked Craig. Obviously, we talked about this. I liked Craig more for his entire run on Southern Charm when I watched it. And even I last season saw major foibles from Craig when he was lying about what JT said to Patricia and making a storyline that basically got JT run off the show. There's a lot.
Run out of the country.
Run out of the country. I was like, that is horrible, Craig. That is awful. Your power on the show, you're using it for ill. So he's done horrible stuff, but I have more of a soft spot, and I like everybody, so I think that there's still redemption for Craig, but I completely agree with you that he was high on his horse, and now he did get dropped down a few pegs. And I think that Austin and Shep rightfully should be like, hey, you treated us like shit when you were with Paige, just so you know.
Yeah, even, I mean, I guess Shep last year, his storyline was that he was embarrassing and head over heels for that chick in the Bahamas.
Oh, right.
So I don't really know what his vibe is going to be this time around. He doesn't really have much to do so far. like, I don't know. I feel like he's trying to lay low a little bit because he's been such a mess for so long that he's like, I'll just be on the sidelines, like talking shit about Craig.
Yeah.
um, and then we also get I did enjoy, I think part of the rehabilitation of Austin is that him and Madison are such like girly pops now. Like he
Mhm.
calls her and she's like, hey girl. And I think she really helps his case because she's the biggest hard ass of the group. And so I'm like, if she's cool with him, like, why can't
Yeah.
I?
Yeah. Uh, I think it's sort of like I think I see it a little too much, and I think they're playing into this sort of whatever this is, like best friend thing, because they know that the audience
Like sitcom style.
loves it. Yeah, I started to notice it a little bit last season, and I was kind of like, I don't know. I think that just Madison has sort of transformed, like we were talking about last year. Like Madison is now like my best friends are Austin, Shep, and Craig because we are the four
She's the
heavy
second
hitters.
coming of Miss Pat. She's like, boys
Yes.
only.
Yes. That's what it is. And so I almost feel like Madison's view on those cast members are skewed a little bit because she knows where the arc of Southern Charm lies. It's in the dynamics with them. So I know that her and Austin have a wonderful friendship, but I notice that they sort of play into it a little more than I think is real.
Right. Yeah. They have, she goes to Craig's house and they have a whole talk. This is basically just the getting us acquainted with the breakup and that he dated that Buffett girl and that Paige dated the Joe guy. And he goes, I just don't know if I've aged out at 37. And she's like, you're fine. Like, you will be fine. And then we get I enjoy this baby shopping scene, this like three men and a baby vibes of Shep and Austin looking for baby gifts.
Yeah, I liked it too. I was wondering what Shep was doing at the start of the scene when he was talking to the proprietors for like a really long time, and he was trying to like get them in on his scene with him, and they were completely silent.
They gave him the awkward edit. I think literally one of the women goes, so awkward. And I'm like, why would you say that?
Yeah, I was like, you guys were awkward. He was talking to you. I mean, he did say stuff that they wouldn't be interested, but I think Shep thinks if he's in Charleston that everywhere he goes is interested in what's going on in Southern Charm. So he was being overly friendly to them, but they gave him a weird edit where they were like, what can we help you with?
Well, they were completely in cahoots. Like at one point when they're saying they're going to buy the teddy bear, one of the sales associates was like, she's naming the baby teddy. Like she knew exactly who they were shopping for. Like,
so I think they were awkward, and they made Shep look like he was awkward. The bus. Yeah, he was like, guess what? One of the ex-boyfriend of the person that is having a baby is going to be shopping with me, and they were just like, they didn't say one word. Because maybe you're right. It would be like if you and I were in a scene and we would be like, we know everything. We can't say anything because we know absolutely every detail of this show. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Austin reminds us that he's with that chick, Audrey. They've been together 1.5 years, and he sees her 3 to 5 times a month because she lives in Charlotte. And he said that people keep asking him questions like, are you guys going to get married? Are you going to have kids? And he's like, why do you keep asking us that shit? We're fine. And I'm like, okay, well, now you're getting a taste of your Craig medicine, because that's what he was saying for years, was like, we aren't trying to put a label on it. We're living separately. It works for us. And now he's getting that. And I'm pretty sure they like break up by the end of the season.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it as him getting his Craig medicine. It's so true. And yeah, no, I think Austin confirmed that him and Audrey are no longer dating. I think because he kisses Sally or something in the trailer, and I think it's just so obvious from the trailer that Austin is probably not in a relationship. That they were like, this is not a relationship that we need to like save as a storyline for it to be revealed. It's like, you can say it that you and Audrey break up pretty quickly.
Yeah. We get some comedy in that Shep is cheap and doesn't want to spend too much on the gift. He's like, oh, this rocking horse is $150. And then they end up buying a giant teddy bear that was $350. But I'm like, if you guys split it, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Bad gifts, though, for a baby shower.
Like, not useful.
Just a big bear that's the size of a room that you have to lug around for a really long time, and then a rocking horse that's not viable for like a year and a half or 2 years.
She has a big ass house, though.
Yeah, I guess if you want a big, gigantic teddy bear sitting in one of the corners.
I would want that.
I'm just kidding. These are great. Those are wonderful gifts. They go, Corey Kiefer's in town. And I was like, what the hell?
I know.
Corey Kiefer from
Blast
Winter
from
House?
The past.
And it's because I was going to ask you why the hell is Corey back, but I know why Corey's back because
Craig needs an ally.
there's no outlet for him on Winter House anymore. I think he pops into Summer House maybe, but this is a single era Craig, and we get a single era friend to join him on the.
But does he live in New York?
I don't know what the hell or where the hell Corey lives. I was just kind of shocked to see him, and I think it just makes sense that he would have his his like 20-year pal to sort of get to go on the single journey with him,
Right. Yeah, and it's revealed he will be going to the baby shower, which is also weird. Why would he go to that?
Right.
But whatever. And they start talking shit about how much Craig has been drinking. He did shots the other night, and they're like, I'm not judging, but he gave us a lot of shit about our drinking when he wasn't, and blah blah blah. So there will be more there. Also, this was important to me. We visit Molly at her home, and she has a menagerie, including a cat named Robert Downey Jr. and a corn snake named Cornholio.
Oh my God. I didn't know the name. I've watched this twice. I didn't know the corn snake's name was Cornholio.
Awesome.
That is so cool. And it looks like, it looks like she just moved in, I guess, because Rodrigo comes over and he goes, what the hell is going on here? They show like little glimpses of it. And there's a lot of stuff. She says she downgraded places. And did we ever see Molly's? We don't know the answer. I won't remember. But I wonder if this is like.
They showed her old. Maybe she lived in an apartment before and she bought this place, but because she bought it, it had to be smaller.
Yeah, maybe.
That's my guess.
Yeah, I didn't know. And then eventually Cornholio gets out. And I was like
escaping.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, it's going to be hard to find Cornholio in this house with all that stuff, like tubas and all that stuff in all those closets. But, kind of a quick scene just letting us know where Molly's at with sort of, I guess, a messy house, some might say.
Yeah. She's funny. I like her. We get Vanita and Sally shopping. Not that exciting. It's basically just to establish the feud with Craig. She apparently called him a bitch on Watch What Happens Live. They showed a clip that I remember being in the mix in real time because all the ladies of Southern Charm watched Watch What Happens Live together. And it was when Craig was like, I will not be associating with her anymore. And it was her reaction to that. And I was like, what a weird thing if like your friend group, if there's all this back and forth and retaliation and you guys are like, do you girls want to watch What Happens Live tonight? And someone's like, I will not be associating with you anymore. You're like, oh.
Yeah, you mean to get that news like at a live watch.
Like what a weird thing for all Bravo celebrities to like. That's why Watch What Happens always comes up in reunions and stuff like that. Because they're like, that's not what you said on the after show or like Watch What Happens Live or whatever. Like everyone's keeping tabs of all these additional commentary places.
Yeah. And then we find out that like that was a huge deal for Vanita to hear that Craig doesn't want to be associated with her and doesn't want to be her friend, which leads us to the baby shower stuff.
Yeah. And Sally sort of like really doesn't want to take Vanita's side, even though apparently they got really close after the JT of it all, which apparently he ghosted her, blocked her number potentially, and never was to return. But Sally's like, same as Madison. She knows where her bread will get buttered. And she's like, I actually can't cut out Craig. He's the OG and I need to maintain open pathways on either side. And I cannot align strictly with Vanita because that is not a powerful place to be.
Yeah. I think that accurately reflects what's going on here for sure. I wanted to ask you, were Molly and Sally ever like close at all, or were they just both friend ofs last season? So they sort of like commiserated / like were able to confide in each other. But was there ever a strong friendship? Because I know it kind of goes bad quickly based off the trailer.
Right. I remember them getting like coffee last season, and they talked about their like surgeries.
Yes, I remember that too.
But it didn't feel like they knew that much about each other. Like it was kind of like a meet and greet, not like a OG friends thing.
So them not talking like this entire episode, like even at the baby shower, I was like, oof, things might already be bad, and they don't have any scenes together as two newbies that came in at the same time.
Yeah.
So
it seems like Rodrigo's the only one that's actually friends with every single person.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, now we get to the baby shower at Pat's house. It's Craig and Corey first. Craig has made we come to find out that he's made this beautiful quilt that represents different what is it? Every single stitch has like a little different identifier for um Madison, right? Did you see that thing at all?
Yeah, every quilt square was a different theme, but I was like what?
I think one said M, one said A, one said D, and then there was a huge part of it that just spelled her name, and it was kind of like in scrambled letters. But and then who else? And then Vanita comes. Everyone is aggregating there. It's a big come on. It's a baby shower, so everyone is there, and then Vanita arrives, and it's instantly like, oh my god, Vanita and Craig haven't even looked at each other, and I'm like, they never do.
I
They
know.
never have. Show a montage of Vanita and Craig's wonderful friendship over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I want to see any clip that signifies that this was a valuable friendship. I mean, maybe they would show Craig when he jumped in to get Vanita out of the pool. You know, do you remember?
Oh, right.
But I'm like this it's only because of the show and these being cast members that we even for 1 second have to think about how Vanita and Craig relate to each other. They
Yeah.
are not in a friend group, despite this being a big friend group on Southern Charm for the
Yeah.
reality show.
They did remind us multiple times about Craig's temper. And they love to show the clip at the reunion where Andy goes, "Who's afraid of Craig and his nasty temper?" And everyone raises their hand. So they sort of back up Vanita in her being like, I don't want to get into it with him. Who knows what's going to happen? So yeah, she doesn't even, to spite her camera time, she refuses to go to Whitney's lair. And I'm like, you should think twice about that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I thought that. I guess we should talk about that now, but I was sort of like, everyone is kind of telling Vanita that, like, you guys have a storyline together.
Right.
It's awkward. I think it'd be very valuable for you to confront Craig about how he talked about you on Watch What Happens Live. And unfortunately, I mean, I think we've talked about this before. This is not something that Vanita is interested in. And she, not only does she not talk to Craig, confront him, go into Whitney's lair, she leaves
During daylight hours.
after maybe 5 minutes of someone saying, hey, please, would you go talk to Craig? It might be good. Then we can go in the lair together. Vanita leaves, which, I there's no other way to say it except that, these interactions, having the worst conversation of your life with the one person you don't want to have to talk to, is the foundation of these shows.
That's what the money is for.
Yeah, totally. And so unfortunately it's kind of a big fizzle for Vanita to just walk out of I was like, that got you to leave? I couldn't even believe it. I was like, you didn't even want to stand around and not go into Whitney's lair? She felt the pressure, and I understand.
Yeah, like in the real world, I would absolutely leave and be like, that's awkward. I'm not going in that tiny little lair with someone that I hate and don't want to talk to. But
I wouldn't
on
have
this
left.
but on this show, you are like, yeah, you have to be like, all right, what's going on?
Well, I don't even think necessarily that she needed to talk to Craig. If this was a normal world that wasn't being filmed, that wouldn't have been a storyline, and Craig and Vanita would have continued to not talk to each other and been fine because they don't like each other and they're not friends. It was only because there was sort of like goading to get her to do that she started to feel uncomfortable. That's why this shouldn't have been made a storyline. It's not, it doesn't represent anything. They weren't close. She liked Paige more. Craig obviously felt slighted when she was giving him advice about what he needs to do because he wasn't actually brokenhearted and he was stringing it along. It's perfectly reasonable for Craig to have those feelings about Vanita. So that kind of stuff is not great. What did you think about Corey and Molly having sort of sexually charged conversations about tubas and corn snakes and grabbing his snake and that kind of stuff?
It was all fun and games, and then she started crying for missing her recital. Yeah. I was like, girl, you okay?
Yeah, I was like, what? And maybe she got really drunk. And like, as I do this a lot, but if I get too drunk and I think about anything, I'll start to cry. So maybe she just got drunker than we anticipated. But I was kind of just like, what? You've got band practice on the first day of shooting at a big all-cast event that's going to start the season. I think that's one where you say the day before, 2 days before, can I get a sub in?
Right.
I love my tuba playing, but I think I'm going to go to this Whitney's Lair potential event that's going to be filming.
Got to be someone else who plays the euphonium in Charleston.
Yeah.
So basically it ends with Vanita leaving. They end up in the lair. They're drinking Pappy Von Winkle. Austin says that this whiskey is as smooth as Whitney's brain. I was like, all right, like that's a good one.
Pretty good. Yeah. What did you think about the Lair? I like it now.
I mean, isn't that what it looked like before? Isn't
I
that
don't
what it looked
remember.
like when JT got pushed off the stool?
I think it looks a little more. There's a little more marble counters
Mm.
and a bunch of different kind of. I think it looks a little more like he put some more work into it, but maybe I'm wrong.
The outside looks cool too. I can't tell. It sounds like he built it, but it looks old. So if he matched it to look original, then he did a good job. But
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, me neither. What about, did you see Patricia when she said, she goes, Craig is opening his quilt on a sidewalk. That's absolutely tacky. And I was like, he is? Oh my God, I don't even know any rules like that. He couldn't have just gone and taken her to the side and shown her his gift for it to open up. That's a tacky thing.
There had to be formal gift hour.
Mm.
She also, it looked like she says at the beginning she got Madison a sterling rattle from Tiffany, as seen on Sex and the City. Go on.
Oh, really? I didn't know it was that. I didn't know that was from Sex and the City, or there's any reference.
Yeah,
to
I
Sex
think
and the
Trey buys one for Charlotte, but as we know, that they do not have a child together.
Oh my God! That's like that Hemingway short story. One silver rattle never used.
Yeah.
Well, and then Mrs. Patricia also gives, she gives the Queen of Wales's or the Queen of Wales's designer baby clothes to Madison. Madison goes, "What the hell is this little outfit?" And Miss Patricia goes, "That's the same designer that made all of the Queens of Wales's children's clothes." And I was like, "Holy shit, that's a gift."
Very fancy.
And did you like Rod's teddy bear thing?
That was nice.
Yeah, that was sweet. That was sweet too. Yeah, so some good gifts for for Madison.
Her baby will not go without. Yeah, I just feel like we've seen. I feel like every season there's 3 parties in Patricia's yard, so it feels a little bit like here we go again.
Yeah. Do you think Corey and Molly might make love this season?
Maybe. I mean, she thinks that he's gross, but that's never stopped anyone before.
Really?
That's what she said.
Yeah, that's what you said. You're right. Well, yeah. So I don't mean to be too harsh on this, but I didn't really. I couldn't get my. I couldn't get it into this one, unfortunately. And I think it sort of has the residual feeling of season 10, which I feel like you and I both were kind of highly critical of. I'm ready for it to start raring up, and maybe premieres just are hard to do on Bravo, and it's going to get a lot better. So we'll see. But Turtle Time listeners, let us know how you felt. Was I just completely way off and I was being weird? Let me know.
Are we jaded? Yeah. Speaking of part 3 of the Orange County reunion, we will be done. I was gonna say, like, by the time we got to this one, I was like, all of these topics are so well trod that I'm like, I'm ready to put these to bed. The main things being Gretchen's IG homophobe gate and the finale leakage, potentially Tamra, if not who, ? Stuff. I will say that Andy, I think, had the entire nation in mind during this and did not want it to look like Gretchen was getting bullied for being conservative. It felt like he was very sensitive to that but he's kind of always been that way where outside, the only time I remember him really snapping at someone about like homophobia is like Joe Giudice.
Yeah.
When he said the F slur, the real F slur, on camera. And I remember him like getting pissed off about that and like holding him to task. But I feel like a lot of the time, specifically about like politics or I don't know. I think he felt a responsibility to Gretchen as someone who was vulnerable returning to the show. He wanted to make sure that she wasn't like fed to the wolves. But I was kind of, he didn't really put her to task at all.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And that was something that you were anticipating, So I understand. But yeah, I think I agree with you at how he treated it. He was like, we do have freedom of speech here, so you are able to follow any account you would like. And I was like, yeah, that's like a PSA for like Bravo's, stance on everything. There was a lot of like misdirection and odd stuff, and it was so complicated and it lasted for a really long time that by the time I felt like it had already ended and we got Gretchen's apology and she somewhat was culpable, but somewhat was like, I follow these accounts, but if they said some obviously LGBT sentiment. I don't know if I was specifically liking that. She's like getting out of it, and she goes, but guess what? I also hired a cyber analysis, and the most egregious of all of these posts that was said to be liked by me was associated with Tamara's account. And then Andy's like, God damn, I got a cyber analysis. Where did this come from? Cybersecurity.com. Like,
Yeah.
he's just like, he doesn't know what to do with this on the top of his head. He's
Yeah.
like, what am I looking at? What was
They
this
should
post?
have had that report at BravoCon. I wanted to thumb through it. That would be a fun thing if they had a library with all of the receipts.
That is so cool, but they need to treat it exactly how they do if you look at the the first, or the first edition of Moby Dick or whatever. It's got to be like it's in this cool thing that you kind of
you wear
flip through. Totally,
or have copies, just exact copies that I can actually see the details. You know?
A Bravo like paper compendium of all of the physical artifacts of like screen. What is that called? Digital printed versions of it in a big, huge book would be pretty awesome. Like you have Sheree News or whatever. You'd have She by Sheree. Like all this shit would be so fucking cool.
Yeah, because I'm curious. I'm always like, what are they looking at? Like a lot of times it's just screenshots. Like Tamara had some screenshots here today of just Instagram posts, which I agree is potentially worthless. Because like the stuff she's talking about at this point is like a screenshot of a screenshot of a screenshot from Reddit that was tweeted, that it's like by the time you get to the end of it, it's like, how do we even talk about this? Right. But the bottom line is, the problem is you kind of just, there's nothing you can say. It's like Gretchen is conservative. She follows posts that have values that a lot of people, including myself, consider fucked up, and we don't like it. And I'm not surprised. I didn't need it pointed out to me. I already knew. If you dig deep enough, like I said, probably half the chicks on those couches have some form of that. If you want to, depending on how sensitive you are to certain things. So I think Andy probably had a similar thing where he's like, well, you know.
Yeah.
But it just got so granular on like, I followed the account, but I didn't know about the post. And like, I don't even know what accounts I follow, and I follow so many. And Andy's like, yeah, if you follow 4,000 accounts, then how are you going to know what every single one posts? And it just got really like boring quickly.
I agree with you completely. Yeah, I agree. And I don't know really what happened at the end, because Tamara obviously thought she had the bombshell of the century, and then Andy's reaction, and everyone was sort of withdrawing from it. Heather goes, you already showed me that horrible post, the worst one of all time, and I said I don't want anything to do with it. I was like, damn, that was a revelation.
I liked
Tamara
that.
tried immediately to show you, and you said I don't want anything to do with this, and then you did it again, and Heather had to react for the first, pretending it was the first time. It was so funny to watch how many times Tamara tried to throw this bomb at everyone else so that she wouldn't be the person to do it. And then I like that Tamara, sort of like someone with a bomb in their hand who couldn't throw it, she blows up on the couch and she becomes so awful that her and Emily start fighting, and everyone is immediately turned back towards Tamara about what an awful person Tamara is. And then Gretchen is there sort of like, okay, I'm out now. It's Tamara's turn to just show how mean-spirited she always is and awful she is. And by the end of it, everyone is like, can we go to dinner? Gretchen can come, but I don't want Tamara to come. It's like, wow, what the hell? That really, the tables turned on that one.
No, it is funny, like, because she was trying to deny sitting on this. And it's like, that's the definition of sitting on it. You knew for a long time. You waited until the end. And Heather, despite her being the biggest ally of the group, was like, you will not have me like act as the deliverer of this. Like, I'm not doing that. She was just like, nope. And she tried on camera to be like, you said that you cared about like gay, lesbian, whatever. And Heather's like, nope, nope, nope. She literally runs away. She's like, not today.
Yeah, exactly. And then we get, I think that no one was probably swayed, exactly what you said. Everyone now knows, or seemingly knows, that Gretchen was, is a conservative, and she most likely did like or follow accounts that have said hateful stuff that Heather would deem hateful. But I think it became more about how Tamara was utilizing this, because it was more representative of the things that Tamara has done in the past when she has huge bombshells that she wants to be revealed. So it kind of just went back to sort of commenting on Tamra's inherent nature. And then we get the second, like, sort of after that, it transitions to Andy being like, look what the hell happened in this unseen footage that Tamra has never seen before. And that was when they go into the idea that Tamra had been leaking almost every storyline that she was directly related to a group of people that was being disseminated to multiple bloggers. And there's one sort of Deep Throat-esque person that is verifying it. And the true clincher is that there's one scene that only revolved around Gina and Tamra about how Tamra wanted them to do a dual effort to bring Gretchen down by sharing these hateful posts that only Gina and Tamra could have known, unless a member of production also knew. And that was for Gina. Everyone is like, we can kind of maybe think about any of the other ones, but that one just makes no sense because Gina knows she doesn't leak. Emily knows that. So Andy is kind of like, Tamra keeps blaming it all on Slade the entire time. And Andy's like, Tamra, he wouldn't have known. This is stuff like Andy's already done his research on this enough to know that Slade couldn't be the leaker for a series of these scenes. So I wanted to ask you what your reaction was to that. Like, did it make it clear in your mind that Tamra was responsible for all of these leaks? Because she has righteous fury as she's denying it. She swears on her children and screams at the top of her lungs. So how did you feel about that?
Yeah. I have an alternate conspiracy QAnon that the producers knew this season was fucking doomed. And so one of the producers put on his scream mask and did a deep throat phone call and tried to frame Tamra.
Yeah, because when I was saying like only Gina and Tamra knew, it's technically not true. You have a whole team of people around that could also say this, so it could be possibly a scream masked person who is trying to, or not even to boost ratings, but just someone who didn't care about their NDA, wanted to leak a bunch of stories, like a PA or someone new was reporting. It was not Tamra. I really do find it hard to believe, as someone who I think negatively of, or I talk negatively of Tamra all the time and believe she has horrible intentions. I don't know if I believe that she would sacrifice her job that she loves, that she just came back to after years, and ruin it by telling a bunch of people
That's
about
the thing is I don't really get what the point of the leaks are. You know what I mean? Like,
well, they said that they could sort of like, if she gave them, it's classic. I don't know what movie this is in.
Quid pro quo.
Total quid pro quo. I mean, I'm going to give you a little taste, but use certain accounts that are pro Tamra, which I'm like, which accounts are pro Tamra? I gotta know. I gotta see these pro Tamra accounts. I know of one of them, but I was just like, will you sort of make the start the petitioning to reclaim me, and I'll give you some secrets beforehand.
Yeah.
I mean, with Tamra's moral character, I don't doubt anything that you say about her, really.
Sure.
So
she did. I thought it was a fairly compelling point that she said over and over again that she's been on the show 15 years and I never did that before. And Andy's like, you're right, there were never leaks previously, which I'm like, I don't have the energy to fact check if that's true, but
but they're gonna have to. I mean, if this is a Tamra takedown that's sanctioned by production, or if it's a production leak that got blamed on Tamra, Andy Cohen and everybody at Bravo is going to have to say, I'm sorry, this was a production leak. I have no idea what happened. And Tamra, we're sorry for the duress we caused you for 2 hours of the reunion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that's a huge that's a huge story that they would have to let us all know, because they can't let the world go on thinking Tamra was this type of leaker if it was someone in production that was responsible for it.
I did like that Katie was like, you can say what you want about me, but it's absolutely certain that I wasn't that person because I wasn't allowed anywhere near filming.
Yeah, they're like, you're great on this one, Katie. You just talked to everybody else about the scenes that you're in, and you even tried to do it later about Jen stuff. You, as Maddie the bookie was going to jail, you go, hey, please, I'll get you on the show if you talk shit about Jen and Ryan. I need something.
So like the final fucking straw. I was like, the last thing we ever hear about you will be that you tried again to like lie.
Yeah, I was gonna say this last week, but I don't think I had the energy, and I hope I can clearly state it now, but I don't fault Katie for thinking that this is a total takedown show, like Heather was sort of railing against. Like,
Right.
Katie came into a world where people are like, I heard something bad about you online. What did you do 5 years ago? And Katie's like, oh, wait. I got to get a bunch of shit about about your past because we all have bombs that are waiting in our pockets to throw anytime as deflection. So that's not what all these shows are like, and it wasn't always the case. It's the case on Salt Lake City. It's a case on a lot of franchises now. But I sort of I have to give Katie allowance that she didn't understand that this is not what these franchises are about, because looking around her, you would think that was all that the OC is about now.
Right. Yeah. Heather's like, we need to, it's enough now. No careers, no kids, no bloggers. This is not a game of Survivor. Like, she was like, we all need to reel it the fuck back in.
Yeah, Andy loved it. Yeah, and I think that OC is especially toxic this season with all of this blogger shit. And someone says, these bloggers are not your friends, these outside people. And I was like, that's not true. Amy and I would be your guys' best friends. You could tell us the most
private. Go to the quiet woman.
We would I would never reveal anything private. Someone told me, like, seriously, never in a million years.
To the grave. At least only on Patreon.
Oh, of course we talk about on Patreon, but that can't get clipped out, or you can't break that paywall.
Yeah. Did you see, I didn't remember, I think it was on Watch What Happens that Tamra said something along the lines of that she was exaggerating. I don't remember what she was talking about. But she alluded to exaggerating or like playing the part or something.
Yeah. Tamara, you're talking about.
Yeah. And someone was like, Andy, why didn't you hold her to task for that again or whatever? And he was like, I hated when she said that. I didn't want to talk about it again.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, is she going to be like out again?
Well, that was I mean, if it was Leakergate and any of that was true, combined with her saying she acts her ass off to stay on the show, that means that all of those screams and double birds at cast members' faces are because she wants to be compelling enough through anger to stay on the show. You just admitted that you're fake, which is Andy's worst nightmare. So that is not great. And how Andy responded to that question was really interesting, because like, she pissed me off. So that combined with if Bloggergate is possibly true, but I don't know when we'll ever find if Bloggergate was true. This seems like it was the end of it.
I know. Her big scream of the week was, "You're a homophobic bitch!"
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. She major scream.
I also liked when Gretchen accused Tamra of having a criminal network.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's giving Rico.
Totally, a criminal network of bloggers that are like ready at will, like kind of like the flying monkeys in Wicked for Good, just to bring it back.
Misunderstood.
I was so glad. Oh, spoilers alert again. Spoiler alert. I was so glad when Elphaba got to get her flying monkeys that she did use the Grimmery on, and then they became loyal to her. What a wonderful
I wish that she could take their wings away. They don't like to fly.
Yeah, they hate it. Oh my God.
Why does her magic suck so bad? I thought she's supposed to be the greatest witch of all time.
Because she's been doing it. She's unfortunately been in stressful environments. No, she's been in stressful environments each time she's gone to the Grimmery, and she keeps kind of blowing it. But I know if she had a lot of time, she would do a lot better.
Oh, didn't she say when she was like, namaka nama nama nama, she was like, what am I reading? I don't know what I'm saying.
Yes, of course. That's why this scarecrow, spoilers. A spoiler alert now. That's why he comes become a straw man.
She's like, fuck.
It could have just been a spell like, don't die when your limbs get pulled off, but instead it's the worst version of it, to turn into a guy filled with hay. It's funny
what if
to
they
imagine.
Burned him though?
I know.
Does that happen in the movie?
Yeah, she made him weaker.
The most flammable substance on Earth.
It's kind of funny to imagine, we should post. Okay, you know what? We could do. It's funny to imagine in Wizard of Oz, the Wicked Witch in that movie and the Scarecrow in that movie being in a romantic relationship. Not the versions that we've seen. It's so cute to imagine that Wicked Witch in our film was
She's
really
like,
attracted to him.
Wait, doesn't he might get lit on fire in Wizard of Oz. I kind of remember him being like,
and you just brought it to me. You brought it to me. He goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. no. Yeah.
I'm still due for a rewatch, I guess. I
Me
keep
too.
not remembering.
And I didn't remember that the wizard, spoiler, 30 seconds. I didn't remember that the wizard leaves town because he doesn't know how to fix anything. And then it's up to Galinda to give her the red shoes that tap and say there's no place like home for you to get back.
She's the incumbent. Like, she's just going to take over how the town works now. Like, how does that work? What is their government?
Do you mean Galinda?
Well, I guess, yeah, what'd I say?
Oh, no. You're right. Well, I was thinking, I didn't remember in the story of Wizard of Oz that the wizard leaves and he's like, I can't help you. And then Glinda goes, the power that you have is from your wonderful shoes. Click those 3 times and then you'll wake up from a dream, you know?
Right. But I'm like, is Oz elected? Like, what is his duty there?
Yeah, that's or
he's just a figurehead?
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff like where you're watching Harry Potter and you're like, this is silly, but like I kind of understand how the world works. Like there's like 90% of it is justified and there's some sort of real world framework. With this, there's just none at all. Like I was just like, it was like no animals and no munchkins on the train. I was like, okay, so that's just a law that Nessa, the governor, just made up so that the munchkin.
The animals are too powerful. Yeah. They talk too much.
Yeah, I forgot about that part. You whispered in my ear. I go, Amy, why are the animals outlawed again? And you go, they don't want them to have a voice. And they go, shh. The YouTubers were like, shh.
They're like, where's Peter Dinklage's voice? And they're like, he's a goat now.
Yeah, and then at the end, oh my God, it could go 45 seconds or possibly 2 minutes in the future. They go, Dr. Do-a-lot is going to speak now. And he goes, ha, and then no words come out of his mouth because they didn't give the money to Peter Dinklage to speak at the end of it.
Dr. Do-a-lot can't talk a lot.
Yeah, I forget his name.
So stupid.
Yeah, it was so dumb. But
sorry if you're a big wicked head. It's just crazy.
Yeah, but we talked about it for like 40 minutes, so that means there's some merit. It wasn't so bad that it was good. It wasn't like ironically bad. It was like more in that sort of middle tier of film, bordering on bad.
Yeah. So, let us know what you think of Wicked for Good. The OC shit ends with Tamra's like inconsolable. Andy's like, it'll be okay. And she's like, never in my 15 years, I would never do something like that. He's like, I know, it's fine. Like, enough. And then she's left with Katie as her only ally in the end. And Katie's like, Gretchen and Slade are dangerous.
Yeah. Oh my God. For Tamra to end a season with only Katie as her ally is rough. It would actually, for the first time in my life, it might make me tee up two teas in a pod because I want to hear what she's going to have to react to this because it's unresolved. They have really bad energy at the end. I noticed. It's like they're all like really, I think they just went through it. They're not having fun. Tamara like collapses on the couch, and then Andy's giving these solemn like congratulations, like you said, like to Gretchen. He goes, "You did really good up there. Like don't worry about it." And then to Tamara he goes, "Don't worry, it's gonna be fine." I'm like, is he just giving pleasantries?
Yeah, the vibes were rotten. There's a point when I think it's like while Tamara is denying. Like, she's like, this has Slade written all over it. And it cuts to Andy and he's just looking into the corner and they hold on him for literally 10 seconds while he's like disassociating. And I was like, that's so dark. He's like, kill me. I hate this. Yeah.
Because we have to remember that we have had 2 parts before where we were saying this was lackluster. And this part 3 was only justified by how long they spent on these 2 storylines that were being discussed at this one. So, I don't know where we go from here. I mean, the idea that Tamara would be fired if she was responsible for those leaks is on the table, combined with her saying that she acted her way through the season. We know that Vicky is coming back, which I'm so excited about.
Right.
That's going to be
think of that.
Huge squeeze of juice in the cup for OC. And then I think they need to make some other casting decisions. Katie will be fired and Emily and Gina will stay. I still like Emily and Gina. Heather might go to Beverly Hills because I think they talked about it a lot, and she's not even going to get a house in the OC this time.
Oh, right. Yeah. Did you see on that big Housewives panel, Watch What Happens, that Tamara was like, I want to go on OC. Those bitches are real. Like, I could, you guys are
Salt Lake City.
What'd I say?
You said OC. But I know exactly what you meant.
And she's like, you guys are too weak for me. And Heather's like, you guys burned me at the stake when I said I wanted to go to Beverly Hills. And now you're saying you want to go on Salt Lake?
Yeah. Yeah, Tamara's like, I want to go on a franchise that's doing really well with other
Yeah.
cast members who have done the work for me. It's like, no one
Yeah.
wants you on that show. You would be horrible
No.
on it. No offense.
Yeah. But her and Eddie do want to leave California, so maybe
Yeah.
they'd have more luck in Utah.
Yeah. Or Real Housewives of Big Bear would be kind of fun.
Oh, God.
All right.
Okay. Well,
All right.
we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, you can say that about the end of every Turtle Time. We'll see. I might really actually fire up 2Ts to see how
2Ts and a Todd.
2Ts and a Todd? 2Ts and a Todd? If Todd went on that podcast, they would have to they would have to rename it for what? Would it sully our beautiful standing to have Todd talk on our show if it was our second guest? That's kind of a horrible
Oh my God.
horrible second, right?
Yeah, he would be so grouchy.
Todd, what did you do at Hewlett Packard? He'd be like, well, I'm the CFO, and I'd be like, oh my God, that's awesome.
The end.
Okay, all right.
right.
Yeah, 2Ts in a pod, though. That's a great idea for Tamara. And let's say now goodbye to our Turtle Time listeners. This was our Friday episode. Go out, see Wicked for good. We got to get this movie to #1. Hopefully with Amy and I's help, we will get it there. And please, I have to promote this. It's been actually wonderful to see the reaction to Amy and I's BravoCon adventure, our full exclusive, Patreon exclusive episode dedicated to recapping BravoCon. I really think it's worth $5 to go over there and just check it out and then kind of play around in that universe for a little while. Go to the Vanderpump Rules recap series, see what our discussion boards are like with all of our fellow Villa Rosa VIPs. I think it's a wonderful thing, and I hope that we said enough kind of inside stuff that you realize why we had to paywall this thing, right?
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
Me too. And then merch. It's getting to be Christmas. There's some beautiful merch. We got to see it live at BravoCon, and I think if you have a Bravo fan in your life, and you're like, I don't know about some of this Bravo merch. I want to see sort of a different type of Bravo merch. Going to Turtle Time, our store, you're gonna see some cool stuff over there.
Yeah, go check it out. Automatic fan fave. They all love it. Every time it's given as a gift, it's a win. So check it out, and then rate and review as always. Please. Thank you.
All right. We love you all so much, and we'll talk to you very soon. Goodbye.